All right, we are live. Welcome, welcome everyone. Welcome team, welcome out, and welcome to our training tonight. This is kind of a special thing that I kind of got well, for one, we didn't have a full hangout on Tuesday with Amy and Jordan, so I wanted to get everybody together after the long Memorial Day weekend. And so that was one of the reasons is doing that, and then also to give you guys something that as I was last weekend at New Orleans, I was talking to a lot of people, and a lot of them were wondering, why is it that some people write blog posts or write emails or make videos and they work, and why do some videos and blog posts and emails just fall short completely? And I realized there was a few simple elements to it, and I started to explain that to people, and they were like, oh wow, I never thought of it that way. And so what we want to do here tonight is not going to be this major monumental training tonight, but it's going to be more of a clarification on a few things to avoid and a few things to do, and make sure you're doing formulaically, if that's even a word.
Formulaically.
I know, right? We're getting out there.
Wow.
Webster, eat your heart out.
Right? That you can do to make sure that your content has the best chance of resonating with your audience and doing what you want them to do and be responsive to you. So how's everyone doing tonight? On over to you, Amy.
I'm doing great. Can you guys hear me?
Yeah, you were a little muffled there with that part.
Am I?
Kind of breaking up a little bit.
Am I really?
Yeah, you sound like a robot.
Oh, shit. Okay. You know what? I will be right back. I'm going to, maybe something...
Stop downloading all those X-rated movies and maybe this would work for you.
Do that.
Nice. All right.
So, yeah, maybe I need to jump off and jump back on or something. I don't know. Should I?
No, now you're clear.
Oh, okay. Well, hi, everyone. It's good to be here. Yeah, I'm excited for this training tonight, and we're all, in our own little places right now. I'm running around like a chicken with my head cut off. It's the last week of school, and just so much going on. I had a breakfast at 6:45 this morning with my kids at school, and then a pool party all day that I was chaperone for. And I've just got like multiple things happening tomorrow and next day at the end of the year. Jordan just got out of a hot spring for God knows how many days, and he's in his own little la-la land. And Chris just got back from New Orleans, and so it's good to be coming back together here with what we're going to share with you tonight. And I'm excited to be here with everyone. Over to you, Jordan.
Sweet, sweet. Can you guys hear me good?
Yeah, we can hear you real good, man. And Amy, yeah, you kind of sounded like a robot, and then you got good again. So maybe restarting right now while we have a chance before we really get going might be the thing to do.
Okay.
To avoid that in the future. We'll just sit here and chat for a minute while you come back.
Yeah, I've got lots of things to talk about from this weekend, so I'll share some cool stuff with people. Awesome. So how am I doing, man? It was really nice to literally disconnect for 5 days. 5 days completely away from internet. There was about a 30-minute stretch there while driving where I actually got into the zone where I had internet for a minute. But really a cool thing to do just to recharge. I just wrote this email about this. I was driving first and foremost went down to I should say over and up to a music festival on the Colorado River, and it was an absolute blast. It was at a different campground this year than it was previously, and it was really it's something I love doing every single year, especially on Memorial Day weekend. Get to go dance on the Colorado River, got to camp. Just amazing. I'm going to be posting pictures on Facebook sometime in the next week or so, but just absolutely amazing, breathtaking views of the mountains and the river and the railroad tracks running by, and no internet, so just completely disconnecting from everything. And not doing anything but like cooking out on the bonfire, listening to music, dancing all day. Music goes till literally the music was playing until 3 in the morning, and then some of the bands would sit down at different campfires around the site and just start playing until playing for another couple hours. It was just absolutely awesome. So that's one of the things I love to do is go to music festivals, and so this weekend was amazing. But here's the cool thing that happened. Typically on Memorial Day weekend or on Memorial Day on Monday, the festival ends that night before, and everyone goes home. And I've often wondered why they don't have music playing on Memorial Day on that Monday. And I'm like, that doesn't make sense. It's Memorial Day. Like, this should be like the hoorah of all the parties. You know, there should be like tons of music. But a lot of people have to get back. They have to go to work, right? Like, they have to work on Tuesday. So having music on Monday doesn't make sense because not a lot of people would be able to stay, which is kind of sad. You know, it kind of sucks. But anyways, since that was over, we were sitting outside playing some Frisbee, and I was like, you know, we should go somewhere else and go camping. This is way too fun. Like, we need to go camping more. This was way too much fun. This was awesome. I don't want it to end. Like, this is just amazing. So we decided to go up to the Strawberry Park Hot Springs, which are just insane. I've never been to a hot springs like this before. It was actually literally like hot springs running out, trickling down the mountains into these awesome rock-made pools that were overflowing into other pools, and it was just this beautiful landscaped area on the side of the mountain. It wasn't like an in-ground hot tub or anything like that. This was actually like a hot spring in the middle of the woods, sitting out late at night, looking up and seeing the stars and the tree lines and the mountains everywhere. It was absolutely amazing. But I got to thinking on the way up, you know, I've had people, a lot of different people. One in particular, but this has come from so many different people. I think back to one friend in particularly. When I was back in the day when I used to prospect friends and family, I would always go after people, and my one friend in particular, he'd always tell me, you know, I'm going to get started with you in your business when you hit this level of income, when you hit this goal or whatever. Then I'll see it's working. I'll believe you. Then I'm going to, you know, get started with you. And, you know, it was, I forget what the first goal was, if you're making a couple $1,000s a month or whatever it was. So when I hit $2,000 or $3,000 a month, I called him. I said, hey, man, I'm making $2,000, $3,000 a month. Like you said, you ready to get started now? And he's like, well, you know, it just happened once, so I want to see if it happens again, and maybe you get to $5,000 a month, because $3,000 a month really won't do it for me. So I did, and I got to $5,000 a month, and so on and so forth. And he just kept saying, like, all of a sudden I hit $10,000 a month. That was his next goal. And he's like, well, if you hit $10,000 in a month again, then I'll think about it, because really, if it just happens once, it's like a fluke or something. I'm like, okay. So it happened again. And I said, dude, either you're ready or you're not. Like, either you want to do it or you don't. And then what he said to me, he said, you know, Jordan, I've been watching you work for, you know, going on 2 years now. It was actually 22 months before I was able to quit my job. He said, I've been watching you work, and I've seen the ups and downs. I've seen what you've had to do, how you've had to commit yourself to learning these skill sets and building your business. And, you know, I'm just not willing to work that hard that long to get what you have. You know, even though he really said he wanted the freedom of our lifestyle and whatnot. And it got me thinking the other day when I was driving up, I'm like, that's pretty cool that I can just literally pick up and decide, instead of going home, that I'm going to go camping for a few more days and just take more time off, you know, and just absolutely have the freedom to do that. And I hear some people say they're not willing to commit, or I see people that give up too soon. I see people that, you know, are right on the verge of breaking through, and yet they don't decide to keep going sometimes. And it's amazing to me, because when you get to that other side, it's just so worth it, right? So I'm thinking back the other day how grateful I am, and the people that say they want this lifestyle, they want freedom, but then give up too soon, or say they're not willing to commit to a few years of work in order to really break through and have some massive success and the freedom that you want to do whatever you want to do whenever you want to do it in life. It's just amazing to me. So, you know, that's how my weekend went. My weekend was amazing, and I'm excited to be here tonight because we got some good training coming. So,
right on. Awesome. As he gets up and just walks away.
there are some peeping Toms looking through my window. They wanted to see what we were talking about here with the $1 million stuff going on, you know.
Well, you know, that'll happen.
I had to shut them out.
But they're probably not willing to do what it takes.
Right.
They're probably just looking for the secrets and the shortcuts.
Right.
So, as we know, there is no secret, right, Amy?
I know some secrets. We're going to share them tonight with our team.
Wow.
Big fat shortcut.
Oh, yeah. I missed you guys, man. It's been a long week. That was a lot of fun. Yeah, New Orleans was fun. New Orleans was a lot of fun. Got to stay in a mansion with some friends. That was awesome. With everyone. A lot of the members of Team Make a Difference, which cool enough friends of mine, Demir and Irina, that started that team, and I originally had met them at an event, and they were really inspired by what our vision and our team was about. And so they let that marinate, for a couple months. And then when I saw them in Miami at one of our events, we were on a yacht actually after the event, hanging out on a yacht party, and they came up, they called me over and they said, we're just trying to decide between this name, and we're thinking this name. One of them was some name, and I was like, okay, cool. And the other one was Team Make a Difference, and I was like, oh, perfect, do that. And they were like, perfect, cool, that's exactly it. Because that's the same thing as being the change, It's like, there you go, we got more people like us. And so I got to hang out with them at this event because, we didn't do a team thing because our big team thing mostly with most of our people was in Seattle and so this time around we didn't have a lot of team people coming because a lot of them had come to Seattle. And so I decided to take this chance and take a break from being in the hotel, doing the hotel thing, and actually staying out at a mansion with all these people. There was like 13 of us in the house, and this house was the owner was the stunt double of Antonio Banderas. Funny enough, and they had filmed like three different movies, Hollywood movies, in that house. This house was huge. They had a pool in the backyard, hot tub, everything. It's awesome. I should have taken more pictures, but we were too busy having fun. But we caught up some good video with Demir dancing, and so you guys will see more about that. That was hilarious as well. And I actually got a chance to MC some of the event, funny enough, and was actually on stage quite a bit, introducing people and doing cool stuff, and love that. I think I want to be on stage a lot more, and so yeah, that was awesome. We got to see Landon on stage. He stole the show. Oh my goodness, that kid. I don't even know if he's on tonight, but wow, amazing presentation. Just everyone was just like, I can't believe this kid. And the kid looks like he's 12, and he's showing me stuff that he looks like he's 50. That he's been through this stuff. Just total wisdom. It was an awesome time. So, but moving right into this, I had a lot of fun, but the reason we were able to have a lot of fun and the reason we were able to do those types of things and travel to these events and hang out with awesome people is because we understand how to market. And oftentimes what I found is sometimes people get some disconnects right off the bat that stop them from really moving forward. And they can go through a lot of training, but a few things they'll get hung up on, some snags they'll get hung up on, and it renders them pretty much ineffective in being able to learn anything else. It stops them. And so what we're going to do tonight is that it seems like the very common theme when I was talking with people was that something at the event, someone was explaining how to do a bridge video. I can't even remember. I believe Justin Bringy was one of them, and then there was a couple other people that were talking about, hey, these are the elements you need to have in here, and they were talking about it. And even after they talked about it, there were people coming up to me saying, well, exactly how does this work again? I think I get it, but what is it really that you need in a bridge video? And so I started to explain this, and they were like, oh, okay, so that's why you do it. So it's not so much about the, tell me what to say. It's about understanding what you're saying is accomplishing. And so you'll be able to easily understand that when we get into this tonight. We've got some examples for you. I'm going to open up my back office, and I'm going to show you a few things as well. Jordan and Amy are going to show you a few things. So we're just going to jump right into this now and show people that, the three biggest elements are really about creating trust with your market, for one, and then two, creating value. And a lot of people are always like, well, what do you mean by value? And a lot of people think, don't mistake it, that's not giving value, okay? We talk about establishing value. Giving value and establishing value are two different things, and we'll get into that here in a sec. But establishing value is when you align with the same values as your prospect. I'm going to show you how to do that on here. I'm going to give you a few examples too. And then finally and thirdly, the last element is going to be an element of authority / credibility, whichever one you want to say. Authority sounds better. And so that's the last element. We're going to show you how that automatically overcomes objections that people may have, that they have buyer's resistance, they have resistance to. And so when you can present an authority figure, whether it's yourself if you have the credibility or the success story, or if you can bridge to somebody who does and tell their story properly, you'll see how this all works and ties together here in a second. So what I'm going to do is go ahead and share my screen, but real quick, I just want to check with Jordan and Amy. You guys got any quick thoughts there before I jump into it?
Go for it.
All right. Okay. So, can you guys see my screen?
Yep.
All right. Can you guys check in the comments real quick? Make sure that people there. Well, actually, that may take a minute. If you guys can see it, they can see it. So, guys, how to create trust, authority, and value with your target market. A simple, formulaic approach to reaching your audience, and more importantly, your audience reaching back to you. So
that's my new favorite word, formulaic.
Yeah, love it. So this is it. I mean, as you can see, by this illustration here, a really common PowerPoint image that I just put together that illustrates that trust, value, and authority all have to work together in order for this thing to work. That's really what it is. If you have 2 out of 3, what I have found in any stuff that I've done only 2 out of 3 or 1 out of 3, it hasn't been too effective. It really hasn't been effective at all. And so to me, this is really the simple magic formula that people can remember, they can do in everything they do. You can do this in a blog post. You can do this in an email. You can do this same thing in a video, in a bridge video, in sales, whatever you're doing, even if you're creating your own sales videos, there needs to be these 3 elements present. So how do we do this? How do we create this? Well, let's quickly go over the 3 here real quick again, and so you understand what elements play a role. So with trust, here's what you got to ask yourself. This is what you want your market to think and feel about you when introduced to you. So you really ask yourself, how do I connect with my prospect where they are at? Okay, so it's connecting with them where they're at. You're meeting them where they're at, okay? And on value, it's how do you display that you have the same values as your target market, as your prospect. And what that means is the same lifestyle indicators and values, essentially the same interests, hobbies, things you're into, things like that. We'll get more into that here. And then authority, how do I address and overcome any objection that my market had automatically in my videos, in my marketing, in my funnel, in my emails, in my blog posts. And whatever I do, I need to be able to have something that overcomes those objections, and we'll get a little bit more into that here in a minute about what that is. But I just wanted to tell you, these are the 3 main elements. If you have this in any blog post, any email, that it always works better when you go back and look at your emails, look at your blog posts. If you can actually single out what has worked for you, you may want to go look at it and go, well, wait a second, did I have all 3 of these in there? And chances are you do. So I'm just going to click onto the next slide here, and if Amy or Jordan, if either one of you want to jump in here, just go ahead and jump in and interrupt me here if you've got anything. So the first thing here is trust. Let's get into what this really means, okay? So when you're establishing trust, how do you really do that with someone through the internet? It really comes down to when people know that you have felt how they feel. When you have felt how they feel, they begin to assume that you understand them, okay? When people feel that you understand them, they start to unconsciously decide to trust you even more. Before they consciously even know it, they're more receptive, their guard is coming down, because they're starting to understand that if you're coming from where they're coming from, you must be able to understand them. So you begin to address the problems that, just like them, you had these same problems. That's why what we mean by meeting your prospect where they're at. You're meeting them where their problems are at. You're defining the problems. This is the same thing as the whole PAS, PASS scenario where you have problem, agitation, solution. You're introducing the problems to them. What you're doing is also letting them know, rather than just introducing the problem, that you have been there with that problem too. This is where you come beside them and say, you know what, I know how you felt. I felt that way too. I feel that way. I know what it's like to be there. And so you can accomplish this in a paragraph or a couple sentences, or you can go on for a couple paragraphs, or talk about it in a video for a minute or two, if whatever it takes to accomplish that, based on your target market and the prospect, the mindset of the prospect you're targeting. And that gets into some target marketing and understanding your perfect prospect, and we'll talk about some of that. So the other thing here is, let's give you a few examples. So let's say some of these are just examples that you could say either in an email or a blog post, or a video. You could even say this when you're in a video. Here's a good example. The first one, I'm just going to read it off to you, is, just like you, I was always struggling to find a way to have more free time to do the things that I wanted to do, to spend more time with my family, but I was so tied to my job that I never seemed to have a night off just to enjoy my kids. Now, who am I targeting there? That's someone who is obviously working so much to provide for their family that they don't really have the time to enjoy their family, to really make it worth it. And you always notice that what I've always taught everybody before is that I like to preface with emotion, something that gives a feeling right away in the statement. And notice how I said that here, just like you, I was always struggling. Well, that's a feeling, always struggling. People can relate to that. That's a feeling. So right away, I'm shifting somebody out of what a lot of you may refer to as that left brain, logical, linear brain that is skeptical, that is trying to find out if I'm, hiding something. And what I'm doing is I'm shifting them into the right side of their brain that is emotional and feeling and non-linear, and allowing them to feel that. And then I tell them the rest of the story, which just reinforces the feeling. Notice how I did that there. It's much easier to influence people when you've got them in the feeling, not the logic. You'll justify with logic, but you don't lead with logic. Make sense? So you'll find in this second example I say the same thing. I always found it a little frustrating. Okay? And if I really wanted to get on there, I wouldn't say a little frustrating. I said I always found it really frustrating, as I attempted to juggle paying the phone, electric, and water bill all in the same month. I hoped for the day when something better would finally come along. Well, what did I do there? For one, a little frustrating, the frustrating feeling element, and then I told the story as I attempted to juggle paying the phone, what the struggle was. And then I also ended up with, I hoped for the day when something better would finally come along. Because obviously, anybody who was struggling, and to pay the phone, electric, and water bill all in the same month, they're thinking the same thing. I hoped for the day when something better would finally come along. And all you're doing is confirming to them that you feel the same way. Not too difficult here. But if you've never had this explained to you, this very well could be like, wow, light bulb. Okay? And so the last one here, you'll see that I once again led with emotion, and I said, I would hopelessly lie in bed awake at night trying to figure out how to be able to travel and see so many places that I'd only seen in travel magazines. Now, once again, it was the emotion. I would hopelessly lie in bed awake at night. How many people can relate with that? Everybody has hopelessly lied in bed awake at night trying to figure something out. So it's a very common statement, but it connects with just about anybody. And then obviously, I backed it up with how much someone wants to travel, and I qualified it at the end with what I like to call as the descriptor, but I won't get too much into that right now, that I had only seen in travel magazines, which basically says I've never had to really be able to travel and see the places I wanted to see. And we know that you may be targeting someone who loves traveling, and so this is the perfect way to approach them, is that, hey, someone who wanted to travel but never had the chance to. Like you, I felt the same way. I would hopelessly lie in bed awake at night. So if this is making sense so far, I want to hear a few comments in the comment stream. I want to see your guys' feedback here, and I want to quickly, as we catch up on time while people listen to this recording and get a chance to write out anything here, I want to jump on over to Amy and Jordan and just see if either one of you have any thoughts on this. Not necessarily getting into, your own stuff and examples right now, but just any other thoughts on this.
I think you've explained it pretty well here. I think I'm gonna just get into it a little bit more when I explain some stuff later. But
okay.
Yeah.
Amy?
Yeah. No. This is so right on. I posted a comment about how I feel about it in the comment stream.
All right, awesome. Cool.
Yeah, I just feel, I mean, and I'm not, like, if you might think I'm joking, but really, like, you guys, this stuff is so, it's so crucial, and Chris is so good at teaching this. I'm just, like, every time he teaches anything, especially, like, he just has a way, what I'm finding, Chris, is you just have a way of making it really, like, easy to understand. Some of the stuff that I've done that I'll be showing people too tonight, the stuff that you've actually helped me with. Sometimes I don't even really understand why I'm doing stuff. I just do it because he tells me to. But this is really like making it so much easier to understand, so that people can actually create stuff that works. So it's awesome.
All right, cool. Thank you, thank you. Okay, glad I'm on the right track here. And so the last slide here for trust, just to wrap up here, what that element really means is when people know that you're coming from the same place that they are, they will automatically be more receptive to your solution. They automatically do. And this is really it. This is why people usually listen to friends and family over major decisions that their friends and family are not qualified to give advice about. I mean, think about it. I mean, how many times have you had a family member or friend tell you something, and because you love them, they love you, and they know who you are, you know, the family member understands where you're at in your life, so you automatically assume for some reason, and that's the thing, for some reason you automatically assume because they understand where you're at that they have the solution for you. Now, a lot of you here tonight on the call, you know better. Like, you know that we've gotten into this industry, and oftentimes your families and friends tell you that this is crazy, they don't understand it, and you've been, essentially inoculated by us as your leaders to understand that, hey, if they don't have success in this, then they have no business telling you what should go on or what decision to make, because they don't have an informed decision on it. They don't know any better. And so we've trained you guys, everybody here tonight on the call, in the team, to ignore that. However, what you can see is you can look back and you can ask yourself, well, why was it that I took my family so seriously in the first place? Why was it that I took my close friends so seriously in the first place? Because they understand where you're at. They know where you're at. They know everything about you. They know your flaws. They know your strengths. They know your weaknesses. They know what you love. They know all of those things. They know what your problems are. Well, and so for some reason you automatically start to even subconsciously, on a subconscious level, start to listen and be receptive to what they're saying. Well, all you do is exercise the same thing here. This is mass influence at its best right here, where you're connecting with someone where they're at and saying, look, I know and understand where you're at. So there's no problems in this where you can go on, like in the last examples. Each of these paragraphs, each of these examples can go on, and you can continue to agitate and talk about the problems and talk about what you face and talk about each one of the major things that you're dealing with and problems and frustrations in life. And this could go on easily for a while, depending on whether it's an email or a video or a blog post. You could get as involved as an in-depth as you want. Now, obviously, I don't recommend, going overboard to where you lose the person. They're just like, okay, if this person keeps telling me all about their problems over and over again, I'm going to just, click off the video, right? But, you don't have to make it, what I'm saying here is you don't have to make it just a couple sentences or a paragraph. You can make it a couple paragraphs. Whatever you have to do to get your message across and to be able to show people that you know where they're at, you've been there too, and you understand how they feel about it. That's the important part about building trust. At this point, now they go, okay, this person understands me. Now let's see if I can understand what else they're going to tell me. But see, they're open to what's coming next. Okay? So I'm going to jump ahead, and we're going to start in on value. Now, a lot of people at this point would say, oh, give value so that they feel like they need to reciprocate. Yeah, we'll get there. Okay? Not yet. At this point, you've got to understand something, a theme that I heard from many, many people. Before I even read this slide, I want you guys to just sit back and listen to this for a second. I had many people come up to me at the event this last weekend, And I just made it a point to ask a lot of people a lot of questions, just kind of practicing what I preach about forming people and looking for their signs, and just getting really good at that again, getting really back in the tune with that as much as I could. Also because I was presenting on that, and I wanted to be, on the top of my game to be able to deliver that training. And so as I'm asking people this, and I'm really genuinely listening to what's happening with them, a lot of them were telling me, I'd normally ask them, why did you choose to join that particular person? I got that a lot. I asked that because a lot of people were there that were sponsored by leaders. And so, I would ask somebody, why did you join this particular leader? And they said, you know what, I didn't even care about much else other than the fact that I resonated with what they love. We have the same values. We love the same things. We love the same books. We have the same mindset, right? And I'm thinking to myself, well, yeah, perfect. That's the value part of it, is having the same values. And they would tell me, if for anything else, that's why I'm here. That's why I joined that person. That's why I'm here. Now, they unconsciously don't understand that there's a few other elements here, like the trust and the authority, that helped them unconsciously make the decision, where they felt compelled, right? But it's because they connected and resonated with that person. So it's real simple. You want to connect with the same core values that your prospect has. When they see that you read the same books, even love the same movies, do the same hobbies or have the same interests, they resonate with you. How many times have you seen somebody on TV or somebody in this industry, you've watched their videos or you've seen their blog posts, and you say, you know what, I resonate with that person? That's because they're doing their values indication to you. They're showing you what they value. And if you value that, then that's why you like to get close and learn more from that person. If you follow the same thought leaders or are part of the same organizations, clubs, or churches, think about it. You automatically already have a higher level of trust and connection with that type of a person because you value the same things, because that's the next thing that helps you build even more trust. See, value and trust are very, very closely tied together, but you can trust someone and then know that they may value something else, and so you may not necessarily want to do business with them. But if you trust someone and you value the same things, you can make business decisions with them. Does that make sense? So just want you all to think about that. And so the values clarification is very, very important. Okay? And so I just want to, jump to the next slide and give you guys a few examples of this. Now, obviously, we could expand along this a lot, but see if you can find out what the major value is in here. Now, think about this. First one, I had high hopes that the 4-hour work week was really something that could happen for me, just like the book said it could. Now, obviously, what am I doing there? I would probably want to say that if I was either trying to rank for the 4-hour work week, the book by Timothy Ferriss, or I would run an ad targeting people who liked the 4-hour work week on Facebook. And this copy, this particular line, would be somewhere in my values clarification area of my ad or my capture page or my bridge page. In my bridge video, I would say something like this and let people know that, I really wanted to make the 4-hour work week happen. I wanted it to be a reality. And so you let them know that you value the same thing, the 4-hour work week. Okay, so that's a thought leader. That's a book. Same thing. And so then the next one is obviously, a lot of you in plain sight there, I knew the law of attraction had to work. I had seen so many others use it and it worked for them. But for some reason, I hadn't quite figured it out yet. Now, for some of you who have been around Stephen since last summer and have seen the Facebook training, where have you seen almost that exact line word for word that worked so well for me that brought in so many people into this team? On my Facebook ad. And I was targeting people who love the law of attraction, and that's a book, that's a movie, that's groups, that's organizations, that's thought leaders talk about this stuff, and so I can talk about the thought leaders that subscribe to the law of attraction, like Jerry and Esther Hicks, and all of the people that are combined with that, Lisa Nichols, the people that are involved in The Secret, Jack Canfield, a lot of people like that, right? And so I can target all of those thought leaders around the same niche, which would be law of attraction. And so right away, I'm telling a person that I'm using the law of attraction. I know that I believe in it, and I know that it can work, and I'm, this is what I know could work for me if I really had a way to do it. And so that's just clarifying values. And so obviously, if you're a person that doesn't believe the law of attraction may work for whatever reason, or doesn't just believes it a bunch of hogwash or a bunch of new age metaphysical mumbo jumbo, which is totally fine, right? Then you're not going to resonate with that person. So that's gonna filter out that person right away. But for those people that do, you're bringing them even closer to you by clarifying your values. And then let's move on to the third one, which is, I knew there were others out there that were making a full-time income on the internet, but I didn't yet know how to get started. Okay, so that one's pretty simple. That's people who are just straight up looking to make money online or work from home and make money on the internet, where there's a huge market for that. Obviously, there's new people that come into that market every single day. And that's simply saying, okay, I know this is possible, but I didn't know how to get started. And when I say but I didn't yet know how to get started. I didn't yet know how to get started. What I'm doing there is framing what's to happen next. Because see, when someone reads that line, but I didn't yet know how to get started, that presupposes that I found a way already. I didn't yet know how to get started. See, I'm saying that in the past tense, and so that just makes the person presuppose and assume that I've now found a way to get started. So that makes them perk up their ears and go, okay, now we're on the same page. This person wants to make a full-time income on the internet just like me, and I think they found a way how to do it. I better keep listening. Is this making sense here? So, Amy, Jordan, can you guys, now here I'm at the examples again, I just want to quickly jump out here, see if you guys have any thoughts real quick here again.
It's making perfect sense. It's awesome.
Love it, man. Love it. Keep going.
Cool. All right, so just to clarify the second part here, which is value, really the value is clarification. If you show that you are the same type of person that values the same things that your prospect does, they will resonate with you. That's where this whole resonance thing comes in, where pitchforks, pitchforks that are the same size, you bang one tuning fork, not pitchfork, I'm sorry, tuning fork. Oh, yeah.
I love it, man.
I know. The tuning fork on one side of the room, and the same size tuning fork will start resonating and making noise just like the first tuning fork does on the other side of the room. Why is that? They're resonating. They're on the same frequency. They have the same frame of reference. They have the same value going on there.
Chris, let me jump out here really quick. A thought just popped into my mind about this resonating on the same values here. Sure. I remember years ago. This is just under 3 years ago. I first moved here to Fort Collins. Which is pretty cool. I picked up and moved here on a whim. It was like 2 weeks after I first came out here because I decided I wanted to move across country, which is cool. You can do that when you work from home. Anyways, I remember I was walking around town. It was like my second night in town or something like that. And one of my roommates, who I'd never met before, I moved out here with a friend, and he had some roommates that were getting ready to move out of the house. Well, one of my roommates had said, meet me up at this bar over here, and I didn't know where anything was in town, but I was down there for something else that was going on in town. And I remember walking around looking for this place, and I bumped into this guy on the street, and I said, hey, man, do you know where XYZ place is, this club or whatever? And he's like, oh, you don't want to go there. And I instantly changed my mind on going to this club to meet my roommate that I knew for about 12 hours because this guy was a hippie, totally my style of music, totally my style of scene. And he's like, dude, you don't want to go to that bar, that club, whatever. It's not a cool place. You won't like it. He could tell that I wouldn't like that kind of place. And because I didn't even know the guy, but because I could tell that we were into the same kind of music and whatnot, I knew that I wouldn't like the place based off of just his recommendation. And it turns out I went there, I didn't go there that night, but I went there, passed there a few times over the next few weeks, and I looked in, and I absolutely would have completely hated the place. So the cool thing is, like just what you're explaining right here, I resonated with him. I could tell that he was into the same kind of music, same kind of scene as me, and that I wouldn't like it. So complete stranger, trusted him. Works.
Amazing how that works. Just amazing. So it's real simple. I mean, just that right there. And see, Jordan came on and he told a story. You notice how he told a story that talked about somebody else as the authority and how he trusted them. He even bridged the authority to somebody else that said you would not like that place, period. Like you just wouldn't get it, wouldn't be your vibe. And within that, rather than Jordan going and trying to figure it out himself and trying to show that, decide whether or not he liked it by going and wasting the time himself, he was able to tell a story how someone else showed him the way. Someone else was able to guide him in the right way. What that just displayed, and we're going to get more into that in the authority part, is that just gave an example to your prospect how someone else was able to tell a person the right thing to do that was in alignment with their values. And so you're giving permission to the prospect to go, okay, it's okay for someone to tell me what I need to do next because we have the same values. So it was a perfect thing there that what you did there, Jordan, and especially the storytelling part where you illustrated that in a story using somebody else as a third-party authority. And we're going to talk a little bit about that here in a minute, but let's not jump too far ahead yet. But that's really the perfect place to tie that in. Thank you for that. So it comes down to this. If you show that you want the same things as your prospect, just like Jordan did in that example with the music, with the club, then it sets the stage that you are about to introduce a way to get the same things that they are looking for as well. Okay? And that's exactly what that guy did for him. They were in the same place, they had the same values when it came to music, and so the guy was like, hey, Jordan was like, I'm going to go down here, and the guy's like, you wouldn't like it. And he listened to him because the guy had already established value. He had already set the stage by merely being there in his place of value. Just like being in a church is the same thing. Just like being in a community or an organization is the same thing. Or being a part of a Facebook group that has a thought leader that's a part of their group. It's the same thing. So this can be very, very effective. I hope you guys are starting to understand how important values clarification is. This is really what I love here, is really the art of marketing without marketing, selling without selling. So here's what it comes down to with the last and most important element of it all, which gets people to the frame of reference for them to understand what's going to happen next. So this is critical. If you have not yet achieved the things that you want in a specific and measurable way, then don't try to be the authority. This is a time where a lot of people stop and they go, you know what, I don't have a success story yet, and so I cannot do this because I cannot be the authority. Because they see a video like myself or like Jordan or Amy where we talk about how much money we've made or the desired result we've had, about the values we have about traveling, being able to take vacations, or where Amy talks about how being able to take care of her children, be a stay-at-home mom, and as a single mother, which is amazing and very, very rare, and how joyful that is to be able to spend the time with their kids. That kind of thing, like it's not there, So remember that if it's not you, then all you have to do, just like Jordan so aptly illustrated with the person who told him what to do, you simply tell the story of somebody else who has those same values and the same problems that your prospect and you had, and then tell the story of how they overcame it. The same struggle, and then let the authority figure you're speaking about establish credibility to illustrate how he or she overcame the same struggle to be, do, and have the same things that your prospect wants. A lot of you may have seen, some of you came in through Amy's funnel where we talked about, single mother from Colorado makes $2,000 her first month and now she's making a six-figure income, that was like by far our most successful funnel ever, right? And still works to this day. And it's because that value system was there. It was like, wow, authority. And we didn't necessarily need you to be the authority as the new person, but all you had to do was find the people that had those same problems and those same values, which you did by placing ads or by blogging or lots of different ways, right? So moving along to authority, here's a couple quick examples. Like obviously the first one here is always my first one I recommend because it really works well. Is I heard this story about this homeless guy who lived in a van with his wife, completely broke, and obviously all of you know who I'm talking about is David Wood. And so, when you can go from homeless to, rags to riches, that's one good way that is such an extreme example that it rattles people and gets their attention. And, the thing is, a lot of people, just say the story of Dave. They don't have to necessarily know who David Wood is and then go Google him and then go find him and get on his list and then, that type of thing. You don't have to necessarily say all that. Just, hey, there's a story of this homeless guy named Dave. Who I know, who I've met, establish the bridge of your association with them, and then tell their story and tell how they overcame this thing. But even a more one here is even better, which I was explaining earlier, is the second example. Then I saw the story of Amy, a single mother of two who had to overcome so much to be able to work from home and be a real mommy to her two children rather than the daycare. Or something like that. I kind of threw that up on the spot. You can say what Amy has done in so many different ways, and all you got to do is go watch some of her videos and actually hear the different ways she always frames it. And so that's one way to bridge to authority, that simple. And you can go on and talk about the life she enjoys now, because that's where you start to overcome the objections. You can say, she gets to enjoy picking up her kids from school every day, and taking them to school and picking them up, walks them to their school every single day, and she gets to be able to make them dinner, and and then all that, she can go and work out during the day, has the free time to do that and schedule her day the way she wants to, and be able to be the mother to her children she always wanted to have, and she can even volunteer at school, all these things that where someone would be like, well, why is this so great? And so you can start talking about Amy's story, and it overcomes any of the natural questions that someone would have. Well, how does she do that? Why is that so great? What does this mean? How is this done? And so that's what I mean by overcoming objections. And then, obviously the other one here is, then I heard the story of Jordan, who started doing his online marketing thing in his mid-20s, and now he's taking 22 vacations a year because of his online business. He has total free time to do whatever he wants when he wants. Well, that kind of goes in line with the third example I had in the values, which was all about travel, or in the problems. I'm sorry, in the trust building part where we were talking about travel. You could follow that same line of thinking and tell Jordan's story when it comes to the authority part, and then you can say, look, I just like Jordan want to do the same thing, and he has shown, he's done this, and he now has this site where he shows us how to do this same thing, so that we too can go and travel and enjoy and have free time to do whatever we want when we want. And he knows how to do it, so I'm going to learn from him. I said, I want to introduce you to Jordan now. And, it can go to his bridge videos or whatever. This is why we have bridge videos like that. And so now you have this element of authority and credibility where Jordan, just by his story, can sell your prospect for you. So this is what I always meant when I was talking to people on Hangouts, like there has to be trust, there has to be values, there has to be authority. And I would always say it in so many words and never really realize that if I just distilled it down to this simple three things and people just remembered these three things, just like the same acronyms, like when I'm trying to get to know somebody, I form them, and I have those family, occupation, recreation, motivation, and I do those things, and I follow that in everything I do when I'm connecting with people, starting to understand that. I follow that same formula every time, and it works every time. So, remember, the authority part is telling the story of how the hero overcame the struggle and talking about all the benefits that they enjoy. This is where any objections that the prospect may have will be addressed and overcome to illustrate that whatever you are about to show them next actually works. So when you tell the story, it becomes real in the eyes of your prospect, and you have now, and this is the biggest part right here, guys. Once you tell a story, this is where it gives them. This is where it becomes real. You have given them a path. Okay, I should have said now, not. You have given them a path to walk, where someone else has already blazed a trail. It is now safe to proceed, because that person has already done that. So now it becomes a reality. Somebody's done it. Just like Roger Bannister broke the 4-minute mile, and then I think in the following year about 13 people broke the 4-minute mile because it became real to everybody. He blazed the trail. He blazed the path. And so then other people started to believe it can happen. Well, the same thing is here. When you see somebody who's done it, it becomes real. And you go, okay, if I follow them, I can go where they went. And that's authority. So, in summary, you've got trust, you've got value, and you've got authority. Trust is connecting with your prospect where they are at, and you acknowledge that you too have been there and you know what it feels like to be there. That's trust, right there. And think about it, if someone knows where you're at, if you had a chance to tell, whatever struggles or pains or your story to somebody, and they're like, oh man, I know how you feel. Wow, I can imagine how that feels. That's tough. Right away, you're like, oh, thank you. This person understands me. That's big. You start to trust that person more, especially with whatever they tell you next. And then value, the art of marketing without marketing, where you simply clarify that you have the same values, the same interests, the same goals in life, belief systems, things that you would do if you solved the problem stated above, which is in the trust part. Addressing the problems. The things that you would do if you solve those problems. Because if you say, if I was able to overcome this and that, and this is what I would rather do, spend more time reading the books that I wanted to read, and spending more time with my family, if I could just get these problems taken care of. And if the person that's your prospect has the same values as that, they're going, man, I want to be just like this person. I want to do this. What's next? And then you go and bridge to the authority. Telling the story of somebody who has a similar problems and values set, and bridging to the proof, and let them automatically overcome these objections merely by telling the story, and you introducing them to the authority that sells for you. And so that's really it. And at this point, you can talk about at the end, and then I want to introduce you to David, who is now going to tell you about the 3 simple things that you need to make money online, or this 3-step simple system, and you're going to learn about the 5 things that you have to make money on the internet. Click here, so they know what to expect next. So, with that, I want to go ahead and jump back over to you guys and see if you have any examples where you may be able to illustrate this. But first, I've got to get back to my screen here. All right, I'm back. All right, so any thoughts there real quick?
That was beautiful.
Thank you.
No, it really was. It was really, really good training. And yes, when you're ready or whatever, I know Jordan probably has some too. We have examples of our own stuff, doing exactly what Chris just explained. So I think that'll help too for people to just kind of see.
Oh yeah, now we're going to display it and make it real for people.
Nice. Cool, man. I love it. I love the training. I'm ready to jump into some examples here.
All right. Go ahead. Take it away.
Amy first or me?
Either one of you guys want to go. Doesn't matter.
Amy looks more excited.
I look excited. All right. Let me see. I wish I can remember how to share my screen. I know I can do this.
Yeah, the left side, the second one down, it says screen share. Just click on it.
Yeah. Do this. All right.
I love that. I love how Nat was like, the 4-minute mile guy only held the record for 1 month. I actually never knew that, Nat. That's awesome.
Can you guys, what do you see on my screen right now?
It's your screen. You're good.
Is it my capture page?
Yes.
Okay, so this is one of my funnels that Chris actually helped me with. I actually took this picture and the video that goes with it, which are completely congruent because they were done.
I took that picture.
That's what I'm saying. And this is a capture page where you can see, if you see my domain name, it's Heal Your Life. I was targeting like Louise Hay and anybody that's into woo-woo universal laws of abundance like that. So that's what I use this for. And so this is the capture page. Watch this free video reveal how universal laws of abundance healed my life after 16 years of suffering when I discovered this. So they put in their email address, and it takes them to this video, and so you can see I'm wearing the same thing as in the picture because I do this all on the same day. So it's, you know, it's congruent that way. And then anyway, all this does here is it's a bridge video just like Chris talked about, where I kind of share the pain, agitation, solution. You know, like I talk about where I came from and how I was struggling to make ends meet as a single mom and shopping at thrift stores, and you know, I had like my pivotal moment I talk about in this video where I was shopping at a thrift store, and I think I actually tear up when I'm talking about it, as I often do, because my daughter needed sneakers for school, and we always shopped at thrift stores, and we found the only pair of sneakers in her size at the thrift store, which were boys' sneakers, and so I was just talking about how we were standing in line, and she didn't complain at all. I mean, I could tell she wasn't happy about it, but she never complained because that's what she was used to. And in that moment, something shifted inside of me where I had had enough of living that way. And so I kind of share that moment, and then I talk about how I found somebody who had what I wanted, and I started doing what he taught me to do, which is how I kind of bridge from where I was. And there's a little more to my story, so I touch on a lot of different points, the thrift store being one of them, where I can connect with people from different places that I've been. I think I talked about my mom being killed in a car accident, my drug and alcohol addiction that I've now overcome, the thrift store example, like all this different stuff. And then it's a lot of it is it's about personal development. Now, like I did all this personal development, so I'm speaking to the audience of people who are into personal development, but yet there was one piece that was still missing for me through all the personal development, and that was the financial piece. And that's where I start to bridge over to where I met somebody that had what I wanted. I'm talking about David Wood, and I talk about how when I started following what he taught me, my life changed. And so what happens is I talk about how my life is now as well, like that I'm a six-figure earner and that I've been able to go to Hawaii and Ireland. Like I talk about what's on the solution, like what's on the other side of the solution in my life. But then I offer people a way to get access to the exact vehicle that I use to change this aspect of my life, this financial piece of my life. And so what happens is when this video ends, and it's 8 minutes long, as soon as this video ends, it redirects to David Wood's video. So this is a bridge video where I'm basically sharing my own story and relating to people for all of those pieces that Chris just talked about, and then bridging over to David Wood so that they can see more about this opportunity. And if they click this button here, it'll take them right to David Wood's video as well. So I don't know. Is there something else you wanted me to say about it, Chris, or do you want to say anything? I know, you know, Chris actually helped me with this funnel, and I have, like I said, I have a bunch of different funnels targeting different niches and stuff like that. But anyway, this.
Yeah, no, this is really good, Amy. I mean, I love this. This is what we're talking about, and this is exactly right in line, because I remember doing this one with you, and we really had it down where we were, you know, we knew the problems that the market, that your particular prospect in here, you know, healing your life. And so the whole theme was talking about the struggles that you had overcome. So people were really connecting with you, and then you went into everything you valued. And, you know, so you really had people who had struggled before, but, you know, were open to developing themselves and open to personal development and wanting to find a way to make their life better. And that was the real benefit, was the real value there of making their life better, and then really offering, you know, hey, the financial piece was the missing piece that made this all work. And people go, it may be the first time where they're like, wow, I can heal my life by healing the financial piece. I didn't realize that. And so she tells a story about how it worked for somebody else and for her. and then they go, all right, well, what do I do next?
Mm-hmm.
So it illustrates perfectly, what goes on there. I remember that one. That was a good one, actually, and we had some high costs for the Facebook ads, but I remember that funnel actually was, despite the cost per lead being a little tougher because Facebook was raising their prices at the time, we didn't really realize that. We were like, why are we getting a higher cost per lead? I don't think we used this funnel as much as we could have maximized, actually. That this one was actually a real good one. It was really textbook. Yeah.
Well, the other nice thing about this funnel is that by changing the capture page, I've created a few different capture pages with different titles targeting different audiences, and then just simply changing this headline on the video page. I can use the same video and the same basic capture page, just a different headline, to target different audiences. So I don't need like a whole bunch of different videos. This particular video speaks to a lot of different audiences. So that's the other piece of it. It's not like super woo-woo, only Louise Hay followers will relate to it kind of thing.
Perfect. No, that's textbook. Perfect.
Mm-hmm.
Exactly it. And we sat down and we had a conversation about who we were going to target, and we pretty much talked about, and it was easy for us because we're really attracting the people that we are, right? I mean, that's the cool thing is it's not like we have to go do a bunch of market research and go to Quantcast and all these places and do all this demographic research on our market unless we're attempting to target a market outside of what we already identify with, which honestly, until you're having massive success and you're making way more money, you know how to do that kind of thing, and there's an element of your own values in that stuff, then you may as well learn to understand yourself, which is a part of the personal development piece we talk about in here, which is why we facilitate these hangouts and everything else for our team. But besides that, once you understand all that, then you can apply that to your funnels because you already know what they value because it's what you value, and it's natural and it's authentic, and that's why people see it, feel it, and know it, and that's why they choose to join because you have all those, and they know you're being authentic. They know you can't lie about that kind of thing because you'll start telling stories about your life, and they're like, okay, well, you just can't make this shit up, It's obvious, right? And so it's perfect. It really is.
And then we got, in the background, we got Jordan and my kids like jumping off the swings and screaming at the top of their lungs.
Yeah, it was awesome.
But I thought that was good. It was kind of good. It was perfect because here we are at a playground. I've got my kids with me while I'm making this video that's going to be used in my marketing. So I think on a subconscious level, it demonstrates that, as a single mother, I can do this with my kids.
Exactly.
My sponsor entertains my kids while I do it.
You might not want to set that intention.
No, I know.
Then you're going to become a babysitter.
I don't know. I think Amy can set that intention for Jordan and it still work, but I don't think it works all the time with everybody. So, but the thing is like that's a perfect thing where a single mother can see that and go, wait a second, she's not at work. She's at the playground with her kids right now. It's the middle of the day. I want that.
Mm-hmm.
I want that. So that's major. Thank you, Amy. That was perfect. That's perfect. Anything else to add before we jump over to Jordan?
No, I don't think so. I will go back to my.
Perfect. All right, Jordan, you're up, bud.
Cool. Let me share my screen. Let me get back to that. We do this. There we go. Cool. So I had a few different capture pages. I'll just start with that. I had a few different capture pages, but you can see I was targeting law of attraction, and I did Millionaire Minds, different things like that. People that believe in Millionaire Mind, Law of Attraction, The Secret, even Think and Grow Rich, it all is based around the Law of Attraction, so it really appeals to a lot of different people. This capture page was getting just insane opt-in rates, but skip on over to where that led to. Let me just talk about what I did in this video. That was, it was really powerful. This video, my God, if I had to throw a number out there, I was never like tracking things specifically, but I know how much money I made off the people that I brought in off of Law of Attraction, and off this video roughly. And I'd say for every I think it was for every let's see, I spent $800 on advertising and made a little over $10,000 on one of my ads. And that was just one of my ads that ran over to this video. I had multiple different ads running to this video, because, and I'm going to share something really cool with you guys here, that this worked out really well. In this video, when I'm going to relate to their values, to speak to the specific person, I not only mention the law of attraction, but I mention Think and Grow Rich, and Secrets of the Millionaire Mind, and The Secret, and a few different things. I mentioned a few of the different books that I had read, and talked about the one missing element that I never really picked up in there, that I was always missing. So my concept was talking to people that believe in the law of attraction, that maybe have tried applying it, or have read Millionaire Mind, or have read Think and Grow Rich, and for whatever reason they're just not making money. They're not living the life of their dreams. They're not they're not where they want to be in life. That's who I'm speaking to. I had read those books, and I had gone through some things, and I realized one of the missing elements that I had never really applied before, and as soon as I realized that missing element, that's when things really started to happen for me. So I go through and I speak to all those different people and all those different books, and the missing element that most people miss, and I kind of go into a little bit of training here, but the missing element that most people miss is taking action. You see, a lot of people believe that the law of attraction is sit there and visualize and believe I can have a nice car, or a lot of money, or a big house, or go on vacations all the time, or whatever. They believe they can have it. They think about it all the time, but they don't do the one thing that's necessary, and that's take action when the opportunities present themselves, right? And so I talk about that. And I say, that's why when this amazing opportunity showed its way to me, where there was a community of people that is all about personal development, all about the law of attraction, all about applying this in your life, and provided me not only with that kind of information, but also a way to make money so I could create the life of freedom, I immediately took action. That's why I want to introduce you to my friend. It was just a really simple transition into, let me introduce you to my friend Dave and this amazing community of people that are helping me apply the law of attraction in my life, and create an income from home. So, really simple here. I don't know if I need to get, I don't think there's anything more to it than that.
It really is, man. It's that formula. You did the same formula where, it's basically fill in the blank. Like, here's the value, fill in the blank, and here's why this works, fill in the blank, and here's what happened, fill in the blank. And let me introduce you to somebody who can show you how to do this as well,
right,
better than me, fill in the blank.
And one thing I want to touch on too, Chris, because like you said earlier, a lot of people are seeing this and saying, oh, well, but you were making money when you made the video. And Amy, you were successful when you made the video. And, Chris, you had money when you made your video and all that stuff. So how does someone who is brand new, who hasn't made any money yet, who doesn't have any success yet, how do they do something? How do they create a bridge video and bridge into something? And, really it's quite simple. I mean, I'm thinking of like I think of Amy's video, the other bridge video we did with Amy, where she shares like 5-6 minutes of her story, and then bridges into Dave. This is just a simple thing anyone could do, whether it be talking about Amy, talking about like even me or you, Chris, or someone else in the team story who has a video up that shares their story, that bridges into selling Empower Network or selling our business. Is basically saying, I was struggling with XYZ, whatever that struggle is, whatever that pain is. You can talk about maybe they'd been looking for ways to make income from home, or maybe they hadn't been. Maybe they were just struggling to pay their bills. Maybe they were just struggling to get by. It doesn't matter what the pain was. Whatever the pain is of your target prospect, that's what you talk about, right? Like, that's who you're looking to relate to. So I had this pain. I couldn't afford to take my kids out to whatever. I couldn't afford to pay for their, extracurricular activities. I couldn't afford for my kid to play in a sport that they wanted to play in. I was sick of not being able to afford to do all this stuff. I was sick of being behind on my bills. I was sick of not being able to travel. I was sick of whatever it is. It doesn't matter. Whatever that pain is. And then you say, and then as I was looking around online, I ran into this person who was always doing XYZ, which is the solution to the problem that you just talked about, right? Ran into this person who was able to do that with their life, who was able to take their kids out, who was able to go on vacations all the time, who was able, who was making money to pay their bills, who was never behind that. They used to struggle with that, and now they're not anymore. They used to not be able to do that, and now they're not anymore. And they showed me a way that I could do it for myself. And so what I want to do is introduce you to that person, right? Now, you have not had anything yet. You've not had any success yet. You've not made any money yet. So I'm getting up and walking away because I'm starting to get excited here. You guys can't see that because you're seeing my screen. I was starting to pace around the room and stuff. But you have not had any success yet, but yet you're just sharing a story. So very simply this, something like if I were to bridge into Amy's story, I would say, I'm a single parent, and I am struggling to make it by with work and trying to pay all the bills and trying to take care of my kids, and it's painful. It sucks. And so I was looking for another way, or maybe it was someone, let's say someone that lived locally to Amy and maybe just knew her, maybe just saw her around. But then I always saw this single mother at my kids' school. They were there for everything. They were doing all this stuff. In fact, recently she moved into a bigger house. She bought a new car. She's taking her kids on vacation. And I know that she used to be struggling. I know that she used to have to take her kids to thrift shops. I know that she used to have to do this because I knew her. And now I see her living this amazing life, treating her daughters amazingly, like giving them everything they want, moving into bigger houses, having newer cars, all this stuff. And so I finally said, Amy, what do you do? And, well, I want to introduce you to her and let her just share what she did and just bridge right into Amy's story. You've gotten 0 results with it yet. You haven't made any money with it yet. But what you're doing is saying, I had this pain. I had this struggle. I saw someone else that I knew locally or knew on the internet, or whatever way you want to do it, who had this pain, who had this struggle. Let me pause this. Who had this pain, who had this struggle, and now they don't. And let me have them share with you how they got away from it. And then Amy just shares her, just goes right into Amy's video. It's so simple, guys. It's so simple. And Chris, you brought that up before. I just wanted to hammer on that a little bit. So,
absolutely.
That's all, man.
Thank you, man. That was beautiful. That was awesome. Very clear and concise, and I appreciate that, because what that did right there was made it real for people to understand that although they saw videos where we were having success, and granted, yeah, it helps a little bit, but what I will tell you is it's not the main thing, because you need 3 things for someone to get what they need in order to make a decision to move forward, and that's trust, values, and authority. And if you properly display that authority, wherever that may be, may not be you, that's what they need to move forward, and you are the one that's going to get them there. And as long as they know that, which even if you're using Amy's funnel or Jordan's funnel or my funnel, it's coded to you, So that's the type of thing that you can do. And so I really love the way that you illustrated that, Jordan, because that comes down to what the real core essence of it is, and it's those 3 things.
Jordan had a really good videographer too, which didn't hurt.
Yeah. That's right. Apparently fell off a rock or something.
My videographer had like magical powers. They could levitate. Weird, crazy. Yeah, it was amazing. Yeah,
I took that video of Jordan, and I was going to do one after him, and I levitated off a rock, and it came up bloody. With blood dripping down both arms, and I'm like, I can't shoot a video with blood dripping down my arms. He's like, just put on some gloves. My video did not come out as good as his.
So here's what I want to do, guys. I want to get some feedback right now, and those of you that are on the training, I want to hear your thoughts right now. I want you to tell me if this made sense to you, and I want you to let me know if you feel that this is going to help you in your business. Those things. Let us know. Let us know if this is something that is helpful for you, because if so, we'll probably put this training in the back office for people to be able to take advantage of as well, rather than just being a live training. This was the first time we've ever taught it. We wanted to make sure that we'd come to the team first and make sure that it made sense for people and that it was worth it. And then we put it in the team. So we need your feedback, just like we have before, just like we did with our survey, just like we were reaching out to the team to find out what you guys needed, and making sure that you loved it, making sure that that's what you wanted. So, a few last thoughts before we really get into what we're talking about here and what we can do for people and what we can offer people here is that, I didn't realize that it was these three things that I automatically always checked off in my mind when I was doing marketing. You know, it's like if I had sat back and said, okay, what are the things, if I had to identify them, that I do anytime I do a video, that I do anytime I do an email, that I do anytime I do a blog post, or anything like that, what are the three things that I do? And what I always found is that I was always trying to establish trust, not crust, and do the same values clarification. Because, you know, the thing that I always got from people is, you know what, I joined you because of your vision. I joined you because of the vision you had for yourself and for your team and for what you could create for others and what you could do. I resonated with those values. I knew that you understood the same stuff I did. I knew you loved, you know, the law of attraction and manifestation and how to make that work. And I knew that you were genuine about helping people. You know, you told your story about helping your sister and all that stuff and how you helped your family out. You know, so family was a big thing, and I resonate with that. I get that. I feel that. And so that's why I joined. And I was like, interesting. Funny how that works. And so when I just distilled it down, I realized that, you know, trust and establishing the same values and then having an authority, whether it be me or somebody else. And I don't always do me. I don't always talk about me. I use others as well. Here's the best thing here, and as we're waiting for these comments coming in, I want to tell you guys a funny thing here. A lot of people think that the biggest element that's going to make the biggest difference for them, we talked about this on one of the Masters calls, is that they have a success story to tell other people about. And that's the biggest element, the proof, right? And if you talk to any expert marketer that has made multiple six figures in any industry, or at least this industry, of affiliate marketing, network marketing, on the internet, hybrid type marketing, online marketing, that type of thing, what we do, if you talk to them, and I will guarantee you, if they know what they're doing, ask them what the most important element is, and it will not be their personal success. It will be the success of others that back them up. It will be the social proof and the testimonials that are on the sales page. It'll be the video testimonials that are in the sales video. That's why we have testimonial videos embedded into our sales videos. That's why we have follow-up videos that are testimonials of people, because they're the most powerful. So it's not about what you can do, but it's about what extends beyond you. When we send out an email about somebody in our team who's had success, that helps us. But we're talking about somebody else. That is the most powerful element. And the cool thing is, you can start with that from day one and leverage the stories of others for your own success, as long as you properly put yourself in the middle of it. We're going to teach you how to do some of that stuff here. So I just want to double check, is there any comments here, any feedback we've gotten yet here, guys?
Yeah, we got a lot. Well, quite a bit. A lot of great info and great explanation on the bridge. Yes, that will be great to have as a reference.
All right, thank you, Randy.
Yeah, awesome stuff. I love how simple you keep it. I would like this training in the back office. Yes, thank you. Really great training. Clarified a lot. This is awesome. Will help a lot. Awesome. Already have some great ideas. There was a question here that I answered. Did I answer it right? Because that's what I would say.
Yes, perfectly.
Okay. Nat, was it just in case you're not looking at the comments and you're just watching the video? Nat asked, if I created a bridge video to Amy's funnel, for example, would you also show the commission loophole video? And the answer is yes. My video introduces the commission loophole video, like I explained, or I talk about my struggles, and then I found somebody that had what I wanted and did what he told me to do, being David Wood. So it leads right into that, so yes.
Perfect. So the next question that I want to ask everybody out here is, what really is, would you like some help with this? I mean, we've given you a lot to go off of where you can do some of this, but the biggest thing here is, would you like some help with this? And if you do, we just so have happened to put something together that some of you know about already and some of you don't, but we have something for you that will help you do exactly this, and this is what we can do. Would you like us, if you want us to, address all of the same questions with you while building your funnels in person, work one-on-one with you to answer all of these questions, and craft your message and your values, and make sure that that funnel and that video works with no leaks in the funnel and have it convert for you? And so a lot of you, I can see you're saying yes, and so if the answer is yes, then welcome to something we've put together for you, which is the Next Level Mastermind Intensive. And this is an awesome 3-day interactive workshop on building your own personally branded and converting funnel that we're going to have close to Boulder at the Omni Interlaken Resort. It's actually in Broomfield, right next to Boulder. This amazing hotel where we're going to have a 3-day workshop that's going to show you, where we're going to work with you on how to do this stuff. And I just want to double check here, Amy, are you sending, you're typing, so I don't know if you're typing something in the chat or not, because I have slides up.
I typed something in the chat.
Okay, all right, do I need to check it?
Yeah.
Probably.
That's
All
why
right.
I typed it there.
Okay, well, I just got to stop sharing my screen here real quick.
Oh,
or else
you do?
everybody will
Oh,
see
okay.
that.
No, I was just asking if you wanted me to send anybody a link.
Not yet. Oh, are you actually? Yes. Actually, yes. Because we do have a few people here. Go ahead and send all of them a link here, and
Okay.
or at least, yeah, let's go ahead and send them out. And I want to go through here real quick. What we're going to give people on this, right? So for one, we've got the first day, which is our personal development mindset day. We're going to get out in the woods. We're going to have some fun. People are going to arrive in on Thursday night, and they're going to come in on Friday with us, and we're going to go on a long hike, not too long, nothing crazy, to one of the places where Amy goes and hikes, one of her favorite trails where she experiences personal breakthroughs for herself and gets her inspiration to make some of her best videos from. As you know, Amy's one of the video marketing queens. That's how she's built most of her business. And so we're actually going to lead you through that to a cool place in the woods, to our secret place there, where we're going to do some special mindset stuff and assisting you to release these faulty beliefs about your business. Essentially, day one is the fun day. We get out in the woods, we identify what's going on with you, and we get rid of the crap that holds you back, so that you can come into the weekend and start creating from a fresh perspective and a fresh space that will be much easier and smoother to create all of this, okay? So that's day one. Then we're going to have some fun that night. We're going to go hang out, just have some more fun. Day one's just nothing but fun and breakthroughs and realizations, cool stuff. Totally worth it, people right there. And I think even we were going to, for people in the area, invite a few real cool people that you guys would like to come along the way as well. So more details on that soon once we get those ironed out. So moving on to day two. We're going to be in the hotel at the Omni Interlaken in the room, teaching the framework for your funnel, which we've given you some of that tonight, although there is a lot more to it. We've given you the simplified version of those 3 concepts, which help, but there is actually so much more that go into this that we want to show you, that we want to teach you. But now that you understand the meat of it, the other stuff becomes details that, if missed, if you overlook these details, your funnel won't convert as well. But if you make sure these details are handled, then your funnel will convert. So what we're doing is answering the questions you need answered about your target market, the problems they have. We do the values clarification for those people. And the cool thing is what we found before, just like it was very therapeutic before to teach people how to tell their stories, they realized and had some realizations about themselves by telling their story and realizing what they really value and what their real problems were. It helped them to start to understand themselves better. And so this is actually going to help you when you're targeting other people like you. It's going to give you some insight into yourself and have some other breakthroughs along the way. It always happens. It happens every time. It's an amazingly beautiful thing to watch, and we can't wait to do it with you. So this really comes down to crafting your message around resonance, trust, and bridging to authority. Where have we heard that again? Resonance, values, same thing, right? Values clarification creates resonance. Trust and bridging to authority. Funny how I said that we had these slides, and we made these slides a couple weeks ago before I even really thought about this and even thought this training up, which I actually thought of today. So, to distill it down to those concepts. But it's the same thing, right? So these things are just as old as time. This is what it is. This is how this works. So that's day 2. We're working on this stuff all day, and we're looking at your stuff, making sure it's good, making it better, tweaking it, optimizing it. And then day 3 is when we jump into actually bringing a camera right in, and we'll have plenty of backdrops and such. We're going to have you put your script together, which is more of an outline that makes sure you accomplish the trust, values, and bridging to authority part. And we're going to coach you along the way, take some shoots with you, probably shoot the video a couple times for you to do your video. We'll be coaching you along the way. And essentially, you're going to walk away with a completely professionally done video. And because you have that, you have the problems that your target market is facing, which means you now have headline copy for your funnel, for any capture pages, for any stuff you want to put on your bridge pages, and you will also have a very good idea of what to write about in your marketing, in your Facebook ads, in your solo ads, in your emails, in your blog posts, all that stuff. It's going to give you so much clarification on how to do that, because we're going to sit there and identify those things with you. So I don't know if that sounds cool to everybody, but if that's okay, we're going to do this with you. So even on top of that, here's the good part. We're going to put our money where our mouth is. We're going to do a 30-day follow-up. So we're going to help you with your funnel. We're going to help you with this video, and then we're going to do a 30-day follow-up, which is a rough estimate. If you need 40 days or if you want only 20, whatever, we got to do a decent time frame where you can test this funnel, and we'll look at it and see how it works and identify, which on the call when we do this follow-up, you'll learn how we identify what are the elements that we need to change just by literally seeing the results. And it'll be very insightful for you, and it's not something we can explain or train on. It's something you just have to be there, where we look at it specifically for you, and we say, okay, based on what people are doing here may be a disconnect that we didn't have before based on your market. Let's do it this way. And we'll tweak it and optimize it and get it right. So not only we're just doing this one time for you, but we're actually following up and making sure this is going to work for you, so you don't waste your money. Okay. So on to the fun stuff, the good stuff. Where we will stay is the Omni Interlaken, and as you can see some of those pictures there, this is a 4-diamond award-winning hotel. It's luxury, guys. This thing is awesome. And you look out the window there, and you can see the Rocky Mountains right there out of your window if you've got that side of view of the room, which I think almost the whole hotel does from one major side. And so we've got discounted rooms, a big room block there for you guys, and this is all going to be first rate. This is going to be first rate. This is going to be awesome. And just real quick to let you know that there's even more, but we're not going to get too much into that stuff yet. But when we surveyed people, there were tech issues and mindset issues, which day 1 is mindset issues. But the tech issue stuff, we're going to have resources for you guys, as well as a done-for-you solution that you'll be able to take advantage of at the event if you go. So very, very cool, which is just something here that's a done-for-you solution that if you choose to take advantage of, we've got one more slot left for our team, and then we've got 12 more slots for a total of 15 for this event. It's going to start filling up fast, but just so you know, this hands-off funnel setup, if this is something that you're tech challenged, if you are in a place where you don't want to take the time to deal with setting up that stuff and creating your pages, this is a service we're going to be adding for people that have your pages fully hosted. We'll be tracking them through our site. We'll integrate them with your autoresponders, so that'll be set up. And obviously, we're doing the 30-day follow-up on this. And it'll make it even easier because we'll be able to track it on our end with real tracking. And so we'll have a very good idea of how to do this with you. So that's one of the major things that you'll be able to take advantage of if you're the type of person that doesn't want to deal with the technical stuff. We've got that do-it-for-you solution that once we've built this with you, we can actually create all this for you rather than you going to have to create these pages yourself. We'll be giving you the video as a part of the main part of the workshop. and then giving you the copy for other stuff to create on your own, unless you take advantage of this one-time deal where this is going to be a lifetime deal. This is going to be a lifetime setup where you pay a one-time fee for this, where everybody else who doesn't come to this event is going to have to pay a monthly fee for this type of stuff, for hosting and everything else, and the upkeep that we do on the site to offer this service. So this is going to be a cool bonus for you that, once again, if you come to the event, you pay a one-time fee for this rather than a recurring fee, lifetime. So good to know there. And so here's what it comes down to. What does it cost to attend? Well, honestly, guys, we wanted to make it competitive and affordable for you. Personally, I think we're grossly undercharging, but here's the thing. This is limited time. This price is going to go up, and this price is not going to stay down at this price for very long at all. As of right now, it's May 28th, and the limited time cost for right now, if you pay in full today until the end, you've got 2 more days here, so June 1st this goes away, a limited time cost of $29.97 if paid in full. Now, if you can't make all that up front, we've got a second 2-pay option, more like a 3-pay option, where you pay a non-refundable deposit of $9.97 right now, and then we make sure to get you to pay your balance by July 1st. Okay, the price is going to increase on June 1st, and obviously we can work with you if you have a particular payment schedule with your career job or whatever, where we'll talk with you and work with you. If you for instance can't get your last payment to us except for July 3rd or whatever, we can make arrangements for that kind of thing as long as we know that we can get that taken care of with you. We'll work with you on that, but we're going to need to have that pretty much no later than July 1st, maybe a couple days after or so. But that will be so that we can, if you can't make it, we need to be able to fill that slot for somebody else, because we've only got 15 slots. We wanted to make this to where we can get enough one-on-one time for everybody there to make it worth it, so that they can really zone in on your funnel and make sure that it gets the time and attention it needs. And so what's going to happen here is what we're talking about. We don't have an exact hard dollar amount, but it's looking like right now that price increase on June 1st is going to go, instead of to $39.97, it's going to go to $49.97. Looking like it may go up even more at this point, depending on a few factors here. But that's what we were looking at, but we can't promise anything yet because this is based on limited availability. Once those slots are sold, that's it. And the other thing here is, guys, is I just want you to think about, of all the stuff that you've paid for, of all the stuff that you've bought with products and training, how often do you get someone to take a look at this stuff personally that knows how to do it, that's done it many times before, and is willing to take the time one-on-one to look at it with you? Now, personally, for me, I personally charge $800 an hour for coaching and consulting when I do that. For outside coaching and consulting for companies and for people when they want me to look at their funnels, and we're going to be spending 3 days together. So I don't know if that's worth it to you, but that's just me. I mean, then you bring in Jordan, and you bring in Amy, who are as equally as valuable as me, and have their own gifts and skills and strengths and skill sets that add out and round out our skill sets all together, and you get a buffet of, pick which one you want and find out how you can get your funnel to work for you. And we'll build it with you, even if you don't have one yet. We'll help you build one. So if you don't have one yet, that's fine. We can start from scratch and start identifying your market and help you with these videos. So even on top of that, now, Amy, I wanted to double check with you real quick. Do we still have that bonus available for people that you had before, or is that not on the table anymore?
I can't do that anymore because the thing is starting.
Okay, awesome. All right, well, that's fine. Totally fine. All right, so, and maybe something, we'll offer like the finished product or something later or something like that. Mm-hmm. But, yeah, sure. So, last slide here, guys. This is what it comes down to. This is it. If you want to get in, there's one more slot in the team right now, and then we're opening this up publicly actually tomorrow. There's one more slot for someone to take advantage of the Done For You service if they get in right now. Once that third person, we've already had 2, once that third person pays and it's at least their deposit, then they've got that third slot and they get that done for you service for free. Okay, for free. And then the other 12 people left in those slots have to pay for that. Okay? And so there's one more left where if you take advantage of this right now, you get in there and pay for this right now, there's one more slot left. You can get that done for you service for free. Never have to pay any lifetime hosting, never have to pay any hosting fees or anything. It's going to be as if you paid a lifetime fee, but you never paid it. You get it for free. And the other 12, they'll pay for that. And then tomorrow, we're actually going to be opening this up to the public. So this is your last chance here in the team. And then those tomorrow who, if you're watching this recording, then you may not necessarily be in our team, but this is open and available to you. This is the first thing we've opened up to the general public for people in the industry that want to take advantage of something like this. And so when we get that tomorrow, when people are watching this, hopefully there'll be slots left because I've already talked with a few people. I have about 3 people right now that just going to the event, talking to them, confirmed as soon as this goes live, they're buying, they're getting in. And there's a couple more people I'm going to be calling, and there's a few more people that said, let me know when this comes out. I want to take a look at it. So there's interest before we've even really marketed it, before we've sent it to our list, before we've contacted anybody else in the industry yet. There's already a lot of buzz around it. So you want to be there. I mean, you guys know, the ones that have been there with us before, you know how awesome it is to hang out and have fun here and really create massive change for yourself on a major level. This is why we call this the Next Level Mastermind Intensive, because we're taking it to the next level with you. Do you want to go to the next level with us? If so, go to BeTheChangeTeam.com/event and either pay your deposit now or take the $1,000 off and pay everything up front tonight. And with that, I want to see if we can bring anyone out here. Amy, Jordan, do we have anyone ready here?
Jose has a link and said he can jump out. So Jose, go ahead and click your link, jump out with us. Jose was the first person to register for this event, and well, I don't know what you want to say about it, Chris, but he'll be joining us here in a second. We just wanted him to share.
Yeah, totally.
Yeah.
That's totally fine.
Yeah.
And yeah, once we get him out here, I want to ask him a few questions as to why he chose to join. And for any of you that are taking advantage of it here tonight, let us know in the comments if you decided to do it. Go ahead and let us know, and we'll bring you out here real quick. Okay? So, question: how long should it be? Hey, Pete. Pete Pritchard said, question: how long should it be, and can you use a screen capture of slides, or would a headshot be better? So, Pete, slides would not be the best option, in my opinion, and I know Jordan, I just see Jordan answered that there. Exactly, he's saying exactly what I was going to say. Okay, headshot builds more trust. You talking builds more trust because they get to see the facial expressions that you have when you're talking, and so they get a chance to test you and see if you're totally being authentic, because some people really watch your body language and how you speak and how you talk, and make sure that it's in alignment with your voice and what you're saying. And so it would be better, Pete, if you can have your face on there. That's going to be higher converting. But if all you want to do is put a picture of a headshot with slides, you can try that route. And we could do that route with you as well, if you like, and create those slides and such, if that's the way that you feel comfortable with. Obviously, there's nothing you have to do here, only that what you want to do. So,
and I wanted to bring, Thea also bought a ticket to the intensive, and she's on the East Coast. I have a feeling she's already asleep.
Okay.
I wouldn't be surprised because she normally gets right back to me. So anyway, Thea, if you are on, and you're listening to my voice on May 28th at 10:42 p.m. Mountain Time, check your Facebook, because we'd love to bring you out too to share. Because I know Thea bought her ticket and sent me. I forwarded you her message. She's so excited about this event, and she sent me a text with. I can probably read it since she's.
Yeah, go ahead, please read that off. Read that off for people if you could.
Like right when she let's see, right when she bought her ticket, she says, Oh,
Hey, there's Jose.
Thea's here, so I'm gonna send her a link.
Right on, right on. Jose, how you doing, buddy?
Doing good.
Good, man. Now, you, Jose, you and Normalisa both. Is Normalisa there with you?
She is, but she's detained at the moment.
Ah, gotcha, of course. It's good to see you, man. Good to see you. Haven't seen you since Seattle, and we got a chance to hang out and everything there and had some fun, didn't we? Yo, are you there?
Sorry, hold on. Yeah, just a second. Sorry. Yeah, go ahead. I'm sorry. I had another recording going on.
Hey, oh yeah, that's all right, man. Yeah, I just want to say, hey, yeah, we had some fun in Seattle, didn't we?
No, certainly, it was awesome. It was a great event. I'm really glad that we were able to make it out.
Right on, man. That's good. We had some fun there. It was a cool time. Got a chance to really get you to get a chance to talk with you and really get your whys on why you wanted to do this thing. And so I just want to see if you can reiterate as to why you chose to make this decision to jump in on this and be with us there at the Next Level Mastermind Intensive.
Do you guys still see me? I'm not sure if this...
Yeah, we see you, man. You're loud and clear. We see you.
Yeah, okay, great. Well, I'm having some time. I can't see you guys at the moment. So I'm just talking to the screen. I think the first reason I jumped out was I didn't get a chance to take advantage of the training you guys did before, and I think that's one of the first reasons why I wanted to get on it. Why did we jump on it so fast was because you guys do awesome training, and I understand what I'm going to get. No matter what, we thought that we need to take advantage of this. For myself, it's kind of to be held accountable, to be able to do something. I'm doing things on my own, but I don't think that I'll have the same success or the same, how could I say, progression to kind of move forward. I think you guys are going to do beginning to end package deal, and I think that that's kind of what I also need to make sure that I know what I'm doing. So I wanted to take advantage of that. And it's going to be more intimate, I think. At least that's what I was thinking when you guys mentioned how many people were going to be involved. And I thought, wow, it's a great opportunity to get some really hands-on, specific training with people I look up to on the team. So certainly, it was an opportunity to take advantage of that. And you're right. I mean, you guys are giving away some great bonuses, and I didn't want to lose those things either. So those are several of the reasons why I wanted to kind of take advantage.
Yeah, I think that the do-it-for-you option there to get your stuff made where you don't have to deal or mess with any of that technical stuff, I mean, is that something that really excited you there?
Oh, certainly. I think that was one of the big selling points from just the ease of use type scenarios. Like, wow, just kind of out of the box type of thing for me.
Aha, very nice. Cool, because there can be a lot of those technical elements that just really stop people and get they don't understand. There's sometimes the colors on a page and the things put in the right place and how they flow and all that stuff. We may be able to give you all the copy, but we can't always explain all of that stuff. And so for us to be able to do it for you ensures that you are going to be able to do that in a way that works effectively, right? It's all those little things, right? Those details, right?
Yeah, it's kind of making everything kind of fit together, and making sure that it all kind of flows from beginning to end. I think that's awesome. I don't know how other people feel, but I like having somebody look over my shoulder and give me tips and tricks on what I'm doing right, what I'm doing wrong. As much as I would like to go out and do things on my own, sometimes I'm a little resistant to doing something on my own when I really don't know or feel like I have the right direction. And I like I said, I'm using this as an opportunity to kind of hold myself accountable to make sure that I progress and do something.
Awesome, man. Awesome. I appreciate that. Yeah, man, that's way awesome. Is there anything else, any other thoughts there, other than you're excited or even just that about being there with us?
Well, I'm actually excited about the opportunity to hang out with you guys individually, and because I think we have to choose a mentor. Am I correct?
Yeah. There's actually where you have time where you get to choose who looks at your exact funnel, and normally we get more than one set of eyeballs on that. We've actually have some special guests coming too that we haven't told anybody about yet. We're going to make this deal even better. But yeah, you essentially get to choose, one that really looks at your stuff and goes through with a fine-tooth comb and helps you really create it. And it's the one you choose. It's first come, first serve. So yeah, we have that as well.
You get the first choice.
Yeah.
So who are you choosing, Jose? Go ahead.
Don't say it out loud.
Yeah, man. Yeah, I'll let you guys know via email. But there's that. But then also just I hear this resort's pretty cool and amazing, so I'm kind of interested. I haven't been to Colorado in like forever, so I'm really interested in just also the time that we're going to be spending together outside of the hotel. So
Yeah.
I'm looking forward to that too.
The hike's going to be cool, and we just found out from the event coordinator that we also get a 20% discount on golf because there's a golf course at the resort. And Jordan, what were some of the other perks? There was a bunch of other really cool. There's like free shuttle to somewhere, and I don't know. There was some other cool stuff besides the hike that you can take advantage of at places. Oh, there was like spas. I don't know. Jordan, do you have that list? I don't have
I don't have the list handy right now, but you know, just to throw this out there, I actually just realized this is happening. My PayPal account got shut down like a week ago, and I had a guy from India working on a payment button for me, and turns out that he did something with the thing, so the button is not working to process these payments. So I have him fixing it right now. But what I can do, folks, is if you want to get a spot, send me an email, and I'll make sure to get an invoice over to you right away for either payment. I'm gonna
going through your merchant with offers and stuff.
It is, and I had a PayPal thing going through. PayPal shut me down a few weeks ago. I switched one of my PayPal things over to my merchant, and this guy, did something with test mode. I don't even know what he did because I don't know how to use Authorize.net.
So what you're saying is at the moment they're not able to process. We're not able to process any payments.
What I'm saying is he's turning it off right now. So if you've tried to process it and it didn't work, what I can do is actually have you email me that you want it, and I'll send you an invoice. Probably within the next 12 to 18 hours, and we'll secure your spots in the order that you guys email me.
Okay. Okay. So we still have that one slot left.
Give them your email address, Jordan.
Right. So my email address and the payments on the buttons on the site will actually work when you guys are watching the recordings. That stuff will work. Yeah, I was supposed to get back to this guy sooner, but I extended my vacation. Which fun stuff. Anyways. All right. So my personal email address that you can send emails to is Jordan, and then Jordan at schultz-marketing.com. I'll throw that in the comments here.
Yeah, I was wondering. I was like, I knew there was more that we're trying to buy right now, and that makes sense because I was like, we should have like 5 or 6 or 7 by now. By how many people were telling us they wanted it?
No, yeah, absolutely. It's weird because I was looking. I'm like I don't know what he did. I'm not technical. I'm not the. That's why I hired someone in India to work on
this.
You
had me wondering, man. I was like, all these people are saying they're wanting to buy this thing, and then
they're already trying to buy it.
We only had a couple sales, and I'm like, that's not making sense. These people I work with do what they say they're going to do, and these people do that, and they're not doing it. I was wondering. Now it's making sense. So, all right. So that's the thing. So if you're watching this recording where it's the 29th or 30th, there may only be a couple slots left. Hopefully that button's still there for you, but we're going to make sure it's live and it'll work for you. But at the moment, for those people live on the webinar, you want to be able to send an email. Jordan, did you send out that email address?
Yeah, it's in the comments. And remember, the price is going up June 1st, so you've got to secure your spot for this price before then.
Yes, and the price will be going up. So, yeah, cool, man. And Jose, hey, we appreciate you, man. Any last words there before we let you go?
No, thanks. I think I said everything I needed to.
Right on, man. Well, just hang out with us for a minute here while we talk about this a little more. So stay on the hangout, but we appreciate you, man. Thea, how are you?
I'm good. Can you hear me okay?
Loud and clear, loud and clear.
Rocking a late night in Connecticut.
Yes, it's almost 1 in the morning, so. And I'm still awake.
You East Coaster, you. So,
hey, I know, it's wild.
So we'd love to hear, now you sent us a message about this and why you really wanted to be a part of this thing and what this means for you. I'd love for you to share that if you could.
It's interesting because I think it was last week, there were a couple of trainings and these things happened where it just gelled for me. Like, I've had my why, but something just came together in such a clear way about how I want to market and what I want to market and what my why is. And so this opportunity came up like literally that night. Like my vision got clear, and all of a sudden it was like, bang, here's this possibility. And it was just so perfect. And even tonight makes it even more perfect in terms of really clarifying how I want to market and just getting to the next level. Because I've been trying to do some of these things, create the videos and make the funnels, and it's challenging. You know, it's challenging if you're kind of new to it all. And so I'm still forging ahead because I definitely want to make some money before that weekend happens. But it's exciting for me. It's exciting for me to see that, okay, this is going to jump me to the next level, and to have that guidance and to have that support it's just amazing. I'm really excited.
That's awesome. It's good to see
it. To come back to Colorado too.
Oh my God, I can't wait. How long can I make this trip? And I'm going to try for a week. I don't know. My dad's been having a challenging time, but I'm excited about it.
That's so cool. That's so cool that you're going to do this thing, and I'm really happy for you because I can tell even in the sound of your voice, Thea, that there's more clarity and more resolve in it than before. You know, before I remember hearing you on some conference calls, and you'd be like, you know, I don't know about this, and I'm thinking about this, and your voice would get really high, and I don't know, is this and that, and now it's like, this is what I'm doing. And it's like you've got a steady, resolute tone that is like, it's not like a deep tone or anything. I'm not saying that, but I'm saying it's like,
you know what?
It's
I've also been off sugar for 3 weeks, so that helps too.
Yeah, baby.
All right.
That's what I'm talking about.
All air. Now the Jersey girl just came out in you right there. Did you hear that? That's what I'm talking about. That was awesome. So I look forward to both of you guys there, and obviously, as you know, because you took advantage of our offer, you're going to have your done-for-you funnel, there made with you for you, and this is going to be something that I think the rest of you are going to. I mean, you're gonna remember for the rest of your life as more so just a turning point when you took it to the next level, because. You know, there's a lot of things going on in our industry right now that are shifting and changing, yet it's funny that everybody pays attention to all of the things that change in terms of strategy, yet they don't ever learn how to market. And this is one of the things that I was having this conversation with about with a friend of mine that is in the industry but has never really learned how to market. And he tends to jump around to different little money-making schemes that are short-lived. And he's always networking as much as he can, going to companies and trying to make friends with people, and then trying to get them to come to his little, Ponzi, is some of them. And I sat down with him one day, and I was like, you've had these heartbreaking things happen to you where, the little Ponzi you were a part of or whatever has fallen apart, and here you are in a very tough space yet again. Why do you think that is? Oh, well, it's everybody else's fault. And I said, really hard staying on top of all the latest strategies, all the latest gimmicks and tricks, huh? He's like, yeah. I was like, my hope and prayer for you, as I said this to my friend, is that you actually learn how to market, you find a target market, and you learn how to speak to them, and you learn how to give value to them, and learn how to give them something they want that adds value to their lives. And that way, you can pay yourself forever because you continue to know how to market to people no matter what it is, no matter where you go, no matter what you do. And that is security and stability to have a career in this industry without always trying to jump to the next hot thing, because that gets tiring. And so I said, what I'm teaching people is marketing principles that you can apply to any strategy. And however it changes, it doesn't matter because you know how to influence people. So you'll find a way to influence people through the latest Facebook strategy. You'll find a way to influence people through your solo ad strategy, or through your blogging, or through your video marketing. Whatever the case may be, the strategies will always change, and how will you get it to the market may always change a little bit, but your message to market match is always the same principle, and that's timeless. And this is the type of stuff we're teaching you that you can apply to anything in your business. Even 3 years from now, that same bridge video you're going to get is going to work with your market. And that's why I'm excited for you guys, and that's why I feel like it's a turning point, because it brings you to another level in a solid way. That's why I'm excited for you. That's why I'm happy that you guys took this. That's why I can't wait to be there at this thing with you guys this summer.
The next level.
So with that, any other thoughts there, Thea? Just after reflecting on this and thinking about what the value you're gonna get from this. Thea?
It's interesting because since all these things have been coming together, in some ways, I'd love to do it tomorrow, and in other ways, I realize it's kind of nice to have to have a couple of months to kind of, in some ways, get things started so that when I come to, the intensive, it will be more like a refinement than a starting from the beginning. So it's kind of nice to have a little bit of time to just to get the whole process started on my own before I get there. Yeah.
Awesome. That's cool. That's way cool. Yeah, it's like a perfect storm of events, huh?
Yeah.
Awesome. Okay. Well, I appreciate you both for coming out and sharing your words and letting us know why you decided to take action on this and be a part of us and be there with us. We're gonna have some fun. We're going to have a lot of fun. That Friday is going to be a fun day for sure. I always it's kind of like that dessert first thing. Let's go have fun first, and then we'll go work, right?
Well, it's nice to get to know the people since it is going to be a very intimate event with only 15 people. It's nice to get to know people before we start the training so everybody will be related ahead of, after we spend that day together hiking and stuff, everybody will really know each other, which is very unique because as you guys know, if you're on the team and you meet us at the bigger events, we don't have a lot of time to really, like Jose said, to really spend time together and really get to know each other. We usually at the big events we have a breakout session where there's like 100 or whatever of us in a room for a couple hours, and that's as intimate as it really gets. Other than that, we're just all running around, taking care of business, and the event takes up so much of our time and stuff. So this is going to be such a really, really great opportunity for us to just really be together, spend quality time together, and bond, like we did in our Breckenridge retreat last year. It was, mind-blowing, and people's businesses exploded when they came out of there from not only the training, but just what happened with the team building, the family feeling, the vibe, the friendships that were formed and everything else. So I'm really excited for that piece. It's going to be a great piece. And so by the time we start the training on Saturday, everybody will already really feel connected, which is going to be awesome.
Right on. Yeah. Jordan, any last thoughts here before we wrap it up, man? He's working on stuff.
Yeah.
I am working on stuff. Yeah. Anyways, I'm stoked about this event. I'm excited about it because I know, what it did for my business to be able to put something like this together. I also know what I went through over the years to figure out how to put this kind of stuff together, and what it actually takes, and the fact that people are literally going to have the hands-on help. We just, we can't give. Like Amy was just saying, we can't give this kind of hands-on help when we have hundreds of people at a live event. We can't give this kind of hands-on help when we're doing our weekly all-in calls or our Tuesday night hangouts or whatever with the amount of people we have in the team. And so to be able to pull just 15 people together maximum and do this in the course of just a 3-day period. The one thing we didn't mention, which we're definitely going to be doing, folks, is you're going to come into that weekend with a little bit of preparation. We're going to do a hangout or a webinar format ahead of time to give you a little bit of action steps that you can, put some information together, start to figure some things out ahead of time with us. So you come into the weekend with a whole lot more, so we can really make sure we get things done, and you walk out of there with the finished product. That being said, I'm just excited. All the people that are going to be taking this, it's going to help them take their business to the next level, like we're calling it, next level mastermind. Yeah.
We didn't even mention, Chris. Did we even mention that we're taking care of a lot of the meals as well for people?
Oh yeah, we didn't even do that. Jordan, I think you've got that down really, really good there. If you want to tell people about that.
Yeah, absolutely. Friday when we go out hiking, we're gonna do a picnic. We've got that covered. We're gonna cover the picnic lunch, Friday dinner. Friday is like a break time. You guys can go off on your own, or you can hang out and whatever. We're gonna be hanging out around the hotel. You can feel free to go off and do whatever you want. It's not anything mandatory, anything like that. Saturday, you get breakfast on your own. We're going to do catered lunch inside the meeting, so we can go and continue on with the training. And then Saturday night for dinner, we're taking you guys out to a really nice restaurant. We're going to do a really fancy dinner. And then again Sunday, you guys do breakfast. We're going to have catered lunch in the meeting room. We're going to have a catered lunch brought in so we can continue working. I know this hotel's got really good food. So I'm excited to have some awesome meals, have some awesome experiences, especially the Saturday night dinner. I love eating good food. If you guys can't tell, I like to post all my good food stuff on Facebook all the time. I love eating good food, so I'm excited that we're gonna be covering most of the meals for you, and that's part of the thing, which is really exciting.
Sweet. And just for clarification, for those of you that are a husband and wife team, and you want to, and you build one funnel, of you can come and we'll work on your one funnel with the both of you. We'll even, if you want the both of you to be in your bridge video, we'll work with you on that. Now, if you are a couple that works and does your marketing separately, where you have separate funnels and separate videos that you want to do, or separate marketing with a different audience or whatever, then we do have a special deal for you. Rather than paying the cost of everything twice, because this is really a time thing for us. We can't clone ourselves. We only have certain time slots available to be able to look at someone's funnel and spend and allot a certain amount of time to a funnel. Is we will be doing a half price for the second one, and this is only for spouses, not for people who are just coming as partners or business partners or whatever. This is married spouses. And we will do right now until the end of the month. The cost is obviously $2,000 rather than $4,000, and if you pay everything up front right now, then it would be $1,500 for the extra funnel. So it's half. And I just want to make sure clarification there. Is that right, Jordan? On that, Amy? Jordan, you're muted.
Yeah, I was confused for a second. I thought you were talking about like the extra cost for just a spouse, but you're talking about if someone wants to create their own separate funnel and all that good stuff.
Right. Spouses are free. If you want to show up and do one funnel with a couple and there's just one funnel, and spouses just want to come and hang out there, if you've got one funnel, then the both of you can be there. It's totally fine. Yep.
Yeah, and then once the price goes up, it'll be half of whatever the new price is.
Of whatever the price is, yes.
Which is on June 1st, which is in just a few days. It's Sunday. So,
and like I said, this is going public tomorrow.
Yeah, this goes public tomorrow. So obviously we want as many people from our team to be there as possible. That would be ideal. And like Chris said, just as other people outside of our team are finding out about it, there's already a bunch of people interested, or at least a few. One tried to buy a ticket today, but I guess the thing was
yeah, I mean, I spent a weekend with the people at the mansion there in New Orleans, and I did a quick little training for them, like, half hour, where I showed them like some stuff about my ad and everything, and they already knew me pretty well. But I essentially told them, I was like, hey, we're having a workshop at the end of July. It's going to be helping you build your stuff, your funnels, bridge videos, and answering all those questions you need answered. And they were like, you don't have to sell me anymore. I want to sign up. Give me a link. 3 of them said that. And then I told them the price, and they said, doesn't matter. You don't have to sell me. So as soon as it goes live, they'll have that too. So you've already got a few of those. And I haven't even made phone calls to trusted friends in the industry that are going to want to be in on this thing. So I'm really, and here's the thing, guys. I'm going to be completely honest. I got on a call with Amy and Jordan a little earlier tonight, and because I saw that there were only 2 sales, now we know why. Because no one's been able to buy in the last week or so. I looked at that and I was like, guys, let's just open it up. Like, obviously, there's a couple people wanting to take advantage of it, but that's it. So let's open it up to everybody and make sure that we get these slots filled. And Jordan and Amy are like, you know what? If you want to do that, cool, but we would rather keep it to the team and give the team one last shot to take advantage of this tonight. Let us give them the value and help them expect and understand what they're going to get, and then we'll open it up publicly later. And that's what we chose to do. So we almost released it tonight, but we wanted to give the team one extra chance before those slots filled up. And now it's sounding like, wow, that's gonna go pretty quickly now. So trust me, guys, this is not a ploy. I would not rearrange this and make something up about a button not working. Trust me, that would not be the plan. You can't write this kind of thing. You'd sell something and not have anything to buy at the time. It's not how you plan this stuff. So I promise you that. It's not a marketing ploy. We ain't that good, or that bad. So anyways, yeah. So on that note, what you're getting here is a 3-day intensive workshop, July 31st, August 1st, and August 2nd at the Omni Interlaken Hotel in Broomfield, just outside of beautiful Boulder, Colorado, where Amy makes her home, and Jordan's just an hour drive away from there as well, maybe even less. And I'm just driving a couple hours away from the mountains, and I'll be there as well. And we're all going to be staying at the hotel with you guys. So we're not even driving away that night. We'll be there all night. We'll have our hotel rooms. We're staying there with you too. We're all doing it as a group. And let's have some fun. So on that note, send the email to the one in the comments. And for those of you watching this recording, you have until June 1st. That price goes up June 1st. So you've got a couple days. If you're watching this replay on Thursday or Friday, you've got a day or two to take advantage of this. And that payment button will be live. And if you go there and that payment button's not there, it's because we filled the slots. So don't make that
when you
mistake.
click it on June 1st or beyond, it'll be a different price than what you heard tonight.
Right.
The button will work. It'll just be a different price.
Right. So on that note, everybody, thank you for coming out here. Hopefully you got value from the training. Hopefully you got what you came here looking for, and you got what you expected. And if you take advantage of this, you will get what you expect, if not more. As you know, those of you who know us know that we over-deliver, especially at times like this, with things like this. Those of you who were at the last Breckenridge retreat, what we taught there, people were like, wow, that was transformational, and you don't want to miss it. Promise you. So with that, we'll see you guys. Have a good night. Make sure that you click that button and it's live. Click the link. Make it happen. We'll see you there. We'll see you on the inside.
Love you.
Thanks, guys.
Thanks, guys.